Hey
Hey,
everyone, welcome to Tea with Taiko. Just give it a few more minutes and we're waiting for Marcus to join.
how you doing, Ben?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you.
Here we go. We got Marcus hopping on board.
Hey Marcus, welcome.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, just give it a few more minutes and I think we'll be good to start. So what's the topic for today, Marcus, that you want to talk to everybody about?
Well, I'm a mentor at ETH Online right now, so I thought it would be good to maybe have like people come up if they have any questions about the hackathon, if they're doing the hackathon, or if they have like anything they want to share that they're working on, too, and we can give feedback as well, because ETH Online has been doing feedback sessions, and I've been kind of, asking people to present what they're working on, and then I'll give them feedback to see where they're at. But we could also have like a general discussion if anyone wants to come up too. So it's pretty open-ended this week.
Okay, cool. Yeah, really excited to see what questions get asked from people, especially about hackathons.
We're deciding to do a little more of a relaxed version of Tea with Taiko this week. Try and mix it up a little bit, a little more interactive.
Yeah, so if anyone's got any questions about hackathons or if you've hacked on Taiko or you guys have actually built something on Taiko, because I see, there's a couple of people here who have applied for our grants in the past and also, have built things on Taiko, feel free to hop on stage and let everybody know your experience and any questions you've got as well. Or if people are shy, you can always ask as well in the chats, and we can ask the questions for you here. No questions from anyone yet? Maybe we can make a start then on you know asking Marcus some questions about some events that you've been to recently and your experiences at those events, what you've seen in terms of people building, developers. What's your general experience of being at recent events that you've been to?
Yeah, so I would say the last event that I was at in person was ETH New York, and I think I mentioned the other week I was doing some stuff with Uniswap V4, but I've noticed a lot of emphasis on account abstraction because a lot of people like talk about how they're concerned about, oh, if I have this wallet and I put all my funds into it, then I lose all those funds forever. So I think like multi-sigs and other ways to kind of abstract and make contracts or just wallets easier to recover, I think is great. And I think, yeah, just DeFi and account abstraction are the two biggest things that I've seen. Some people are tapping into like artificial intelligence as well, but we're just gonna have to see what happens with that because I think AI is really interesting, but yeah, it's hard to predict what will come out of that as well. I had like an AI project, I think back in Prague, right? I think it was like Brian, right? Right, Ben?
Yeah, that was one of the previous hackathon, I think, winners that we had that built on Taiko. Yeah, Brian. There was like Brian knows and Brian builds.
Yeah, so those guys built on Taiko at ETH Prague. They were one of the app winners there, and yeah, they've been in our Taiko Hackers group. and they've been quite active as well within our Discord. I see a question here from Invoid, one of our supermods, who's been really active on our Discord. He's asking the question around, are we excited about DevConnect Istanbul, and what should we expect? So yeah, I can answer that question. Hope everyone can hear me okay, because I think my connection is not very good at times.
We can hear you loud and
So
clear, Ben.
okay, cool. So yeah, as of yesterday, we are going to be in Istanbul. We have 11 events that we're going to be at. So our team is going to be at Istanbul. So there's around about 20 plus people going there from our team. So we'll have quite a large presence in Istanbul. We're going to be visiting quite a lot of events during that week. So we have currently 11 confirmed and 4 nearly confirmed, but we're being approached by a few more events at the moment to attend even more events. So it could even end up with in the region of 16 plus events that we're going to be at, which is going to be a phenomenal number of events for that particular week. So they range from, I mean, some of the ones that I can talk about which we've confirmed to be at are ETH stakers. We're going to be at Ingonyama events. We're going to be at ZK Day as well. And there's quite a few other events that we're going to be speaking at, or we're going to be panelists at as well. So, guys, if there's anybody over in Istanbul, please stop by. We've actually got some extra tickets for the workspace at DevConnect as well, so the co-working space. So if there's any members from our community who want to say hello or want to stop by and work or co-work there as well, they're quite welcome to join us. We've got some spare tickets. So by all means, feel free to reach out to us and say hello whilst we're there. Does that answer your question, Invoid? If you've got any more, if there's anything more specific you'd like to know, please feel free to ask.
I've got a question for Marcus, just a little bit about like the ETH Online hackathon. Like, kind of, is it like what's it focused on? Like, is it at a specific place, or is it like an online only kind of hackathon? I know this one's like a little bit longer too compared to others, right? It's kind of an extended thing. Maybe I have my details wrong, but yeah.
Yeah, it's longer. Usually they're only like a weekend long, which I'm not. Here's the thing, like if you're like very experienced and you know what you're doing, I think weekend hackathons can be effective if you want to like really push yourself. But I feel like if someone is new and they don't know what they're doing, they will probably overextend themselves and then they won't finish. It's just because they have scope creep. They're like, oh, we want to do this, this, and this. But it's like I tell people on a team, like, you're not gonna have time to do this. Otherwise, you're gonna run out of time. So yeah, I think if someone is doing their first hackathon, I think they should probably do a longer one so that they don't like stress themselves out and they have like plenty of leg room and they have, the opportunity to fail at certain points, because like sometimes you'll be working on something and it's like, oh, I think this is going to work as expected like this, but then they get to a certain point, they're like, wait, I can't do it like this because my assumptions were wrong about how this works, and now I have to scrap this part and then maybe re-implement it. So it's about just like keeping everything really simple, and then I feel like from there you can do really well. Yeah, it's completely online, and if anyone has questions, I'm kind of like asynchronously helping people in. I mean, if anyone has a question now, they could ask, but outside of this, they can message either me directly or they can message the mentor chat, and ask any type of question for the hackathon. I could try to assist. Or so if I don't have an exact answer, I'll like kind of point you in the right direction with some documentation that I think will help. But if I have experience, then I'll try to give a detailed response on what might be causing the issue.
How's the experience been going so far? You're mentoring or judging as well?
Mentoring. Just mentoring. So it's been good. I've been giving feedback to people, and yeah, I kind of enjoy like helping people. They're like really stuck on like a problem, and they don't see like another way to do it. I could like give some advice, and then hopefully that unsticks them. And if that does unstick them, you know, that's a good feeling. It's like, oh hey, like help someone, and they seem like they were like super stuck.
All right, let's see. Do we have any? Thank you, Marcus. Let's see. Do we have any questions in the chat? No.
No questions at the moment. Does anybody have any questions in terms of, you know, what we're up to in terms of technology wise? You know, what the roadmap's going to be looking like? You know, feel free to ask any questions. Okay, but
Looks like
Andy Bush.
there we go.
Yeah, hello guys. How are you?
Hey,
Hey,
what's up,
Andy,
man?
welcome.
Uh, I just want to ask one question, unfortunately not related to hackathon, but a lot of users have problems with one of Galaxy task, which Mintpad team is checking, and I just want to ask, like this campaign will be over in a week or something like that, and does it means that user who won't be verified will not be able to claim their points, or how it will be working?
I just went through. Great question. I just actually went through and I fixed one of the issues where unverified users that we manually found are actually being uploaded now. So anybody that's experienced any like long verification times, and you've talked to the moderators and you've dropped your address for all that, then you should be counted as a participant now, and you should be able to get your points and all that. Yeah, that was an issue with not being able to upload certain users for some reason, but we got that fixed.
Yeah,
And I
great,
guess
because
there's two parts. I guess there's two parts to this answer. So the first part is there was the manual sync up. So for whatever reason, some users were not verified, so their wallet addresses were not picked up, and that manual process is now addressed. So the spreadsheet is now syncing from the Mintpad side. So that's done every 48 hours. The second part of the question is the actual verification itself. So speaking with Galaxy, Galaxy said that people simply need to just go back into the task and click on re-verify, and that should solve the issue. As long as the wallet
Oh, I
address
think we're
is in
losing
the
you, Ben.
spreadsheet, as long as the wallet is in the spreadsheet, then you know, go back in and re-verify, and it should verify.
You're still breaking up a little bit there. Oh, Ben.
Any better?
No, I don't think so. Not yet. Well, I think what Ben was trying to say was that Yeah, the users that for some reason weren't being registered as done, like being done the task, even though it was done, you can go through back to like MintPad's website. You like disconnect your wallet, reconnect it, try it again, basically restart that process, and you should get picked up just doing that process over again. But yeah, any users that were
should get picked up. The question was also around if your is already
I still
in
can't
the
hear you, Ben.
spreadsheet.
I think you're still cutting out.
If your address is in the spreadsheet, then try to verify because if your address is in the spreadsheet.
Marcus, did you get any of that? Anybody? Or is that just
No,
me?
it's cutting out quite a
Mm-hmm. Sorry about that, guys. That is a known issue that we have. Yeah, sorry, Andy. I hope I hope that partially answered your question.
Yeah, you answered. Just as I think what Ben wants to tell that if you complete the quest, you will be on the list anyway and will be able to claim points even after campaign will end. Do I understand it correctly? Because like Ben's connection is not so good today, so I really can't understand it as much as I want.
No, yeah, there should be a small period after the campaign ends where there's that update interval. So if the list doesn't get updated right when the campaign ends, there'll still be some time where users will be able to get verified after the campaign ends, but just for a little bit.
Oh yeah, thanks. I read message of Ben in the chat. So yeah, really thanks about that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No problem. And thank you for all the help, by the way. Great seeing you around the community, helping everybody out. Much appreciated. Marcus, is there anything else that you wanted to share about your experience with the hackathons or future events that we're doing, or anything of interest that you want to bring up at this moment?
Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it to Istanbul, but I'm definitely gonna be at ETH Denver next year, so that'll be definitely exciting.
When is that? I don't know off the top of my head.
I think it's
At
gonna be
Denver.
early next year. I think maybe March, maybe February. I heard a rumor that it would be in February, but they're already preparing, and I think like hyping it up on Twitter. Like, are you excited for ETH Denver? A lot of people are like, yeah.
And is that going to be like a big hackathon type event as well, or just more of like a meetup, co-working speaker event kind of space?
I think it's the biggest hackathon in the United States, like every year. But it's a huge place for like networking and like workshops as well. It's a great event. There's a lot of fun side events too. I was there last year and I had a lot of fun. Actually, no. I was there virtually last year at a hackathon. There was like it was weird. It was like they had an online and virtual track last year, but I think they cut that this year. It was just in person. But yeah, it was a lot of fun this year. But I'm not sure if they're gonna have the same venue that they had this year. Be cool to mix it up, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be really cool to see there if I have the chance to make it out there.
I definitely recommend coming. It was a lot of fun.
Korchinski, what's up, man?
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing good. Still waking up.
Yeah, it's early for you. I had a question to Marcus about like hackathons. So my question is, do hackathon participants, like developers, do they have any specific task that they should do, any like estimate timeline for these tasks, or they can just build anything on Taiko and that's it? So what are like the requirements for the hackathons?
Well, it really depends. I mean, every hackathon is different. For ETH Online, we don't have a bounty, but I think we're gonna have a bounty for ETH Denver. But I've seen some people saying like, oh, they're having trouble with some test nets. So if they don't have any testnet ETH, I could send them a testnet ETH on Taiko as well if they're wanting to try out other chains. Oh, I'm looking at the chat as well. Looks like it's going to be March 3rd next year. So thank you, Hamilton, for sharing that.
Got it. Thanks. So also I'm interested, like only people who are at the hackathon can participate in that, like exact.
Sorry, you cut out. They can participate in
Online
what specifically? Well, I mean, there's
Yeah,
there's
can you
different
hear me
roles.
now?
Like yeah. So I mean, there's different roles. Like you have judges, and then you have like mentors, and yeah, it really depends like on what someone is looking for.
Yeah, and the question is also like, is there any online hackathon that people can participate, or maybe like we can organize one for, because like not many people can travel to other country because it requires you some money. So like maybe online hackathons can also have the place.
Yeah, so for some context, I actually got started with kind of like Web3 with like a bunch of Chainlink hackathons. I think those are run really well because there's a lot of Q&A and a lot of just support in them. And I think they do it twice a year, right? I think they have one in the spring and one in the fall. So let me check if they're doing one now. Yeah, this is interesting. I think I found it, but they didn't call it the Chainlink Fall Hackathon of 2023. It's called Constellation or something like that. Interesting. So yeah, I would recommend checking that out. That'd be cool.
All right. Do we have any more questions from anybody? And do we have Ben back?
I'm here, but I'm not sure if you can hear me though.
Oh, there we go. Loud and clear. You're back.
Okay, let's see how long this one lasts for. Yeah, sorry about that. Bad connection today.
Ben, I know we did we host or we sponsored a hackathon, right? The ETHKL just now. Did it conclude?
Yes, so we sponsored ETHKL, which started officially on the Friday/Saturday, and it concluded on Sunday. And the team are now at Mu Chiang Mai in Thailand. So there's again another hackathon going on there, and the guys, when I say guys, Dave and Keng, our DevRels are both basically living in a hacker house over there, so they will be supporting the hackers over in Thailand for a couple of weeks. Yep. So from a hacker perspective, we've got quite a number of events taking place. So as I said, we just recently had ETH-KL, and we had 19 teams hack on Taiko. So that's quite a large number of teams there building, whether it's games, dApps, infrastructure type products as well. Yeah, there's quite a lot of people building different things on Taiko, which is really, really interesting. And if anybody's actually interested, if you guys can go and check our events channel, you'll be able to see the actual projects themselves. Um, you know, it, uh, they were based on things like public good, best dApps, and fun dApps as well. So go and take a look because all the details are on there. They're in a place called DevFolio. So you guys can check out what people have been building on Taiko.
All right, thanks, Ben. Can see if we have any more questions, but if not, I know we're getting close to the 30-minute mark.
Also, I have a question about like future testnets, like whether we will have some new tech features, like maybe we'll be testing proto-dunk sharding after improvement proposal will be like accepted. And do you know how much can this proto-dunk sharding reduce the fees on Taiko, or no like concrete numbers yet? Like, so the question is like basically what features we will have during the next testnet and whether we will test this proto-dunk sharding in our testnet in the future.
That is a really good question, and I hope Marcus has a really good answer for us.
Sorry, I'll repeat the question. My audio cut out for a second.
I could probably quickly answer this one. So we plan to have another 2 test nets. So there's going to be like an Alpha 6 and then an Alpha 7. We're not 100% sure yet on when the release dates of those will be, especially the 4844 that Koczynski, you were just asking about. But the plan is that close to that time, we do plan to implement the 4844 into our actual testnet, and that's really what we're waiting for to close out really our roadmap really for the alpha testing. And I don't think we have an answer in terms of numbers for you for cost savings. I expect that will be a large amount because we'll be using less data in actually the transfer as well. So Marcus, maybe you can maybe you have a little bit more technical insight into 4844 and what the effects will be on our alpha testnet.
Yeah, so 444, the main idea is there's a really good talk that I think Ben did from Consensus. Let me actually share that in the chat one second.
Thanks for always sharing the links, by the way, Marcus. It's always really helpful after the stage ends. So it's good to look back at those.
Yeah, so I'll summarize this video I just shared, but think of it this way, like if I could describe the CIP in like a sense, it's like basically you're adding these temporary fragments of data onto the consensus layer, and the magic of it is that people are like, wait, this is temporary data. How is it going to be persistent in the blockchain? Does that defeat the purpose of being immutable? So the idea is that I think the data lasts for about a week or two, and that gives like rollups enough time to process all that execution data that they can derive from those blobs, those data blobs that they have bolted to blocks in the consensus layer, or messages in the consensus layer. And then the way you're able to prove the data that you processed without having to keep it forever and they get like basically just thrown out is through, I think, a binomial commitment, I believe, because I think with Merkle trees, they don't have that data recovery component of it, but with the ceremony that they did with the binomial commitment, they're basically able to retrieve not fully all the information, but they're able to prove like, hey, like this was a legitimate execution or not, just by looking at that ceremony and some of the data from that, so to speak. So effectively, you're getting like cheaper transactions from that because you don't have to spend it. Because not only is it more compact because you don't have to keep that data forever, but also I think the cost of gas for that like data blob market is actually much cheaper than traditional gas as well.
Yeah, thanks for the answer, Marcus, and also for sharing the link in the chat.
Yeah, it's a really good talk. I recommend watching it.
Okay, thank you then. I guess we're pretty much out of time, and I don't see any more questions being asked. I guess we can end the session now. Thank you everybody for taking the time out to attend this session, to ask your questions, and obviously learn more about Taiko and what it is we're building around Taiko and our ecosystem as well. But feel free in the future to hop on stage and ask any questions that you feel that isn't really answered in the chats. So yeah, we'll see you again same time next week. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for joining, guys.
Right. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.